Yes, there is. Hey guys, I'm gonna do my January movie wrap up now because I like talking about the movies that I watch, but I feel like putting it with the books, like maybe you're not interested in the movies, but you're interested in the books, or maybe you're interested in the movies, but not the books, which would be weird because it's a booktube channel, but that's okay. So I can't count. I've watched many things in the month of January. So Jake and I started off the year, aka we started watching before midnight and finished watching after midnight, Sleepless in Seattle, which I kind of want to make a tradition because I loved it so much. How do you feel about that, baby?
World's your oyster, baby.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe not every year, but I loved it. I thought it was really cute and sweet that we did that. Ow, I'm having a weird pain. So anyways, I loved it. I had never actually seen Sleepless in Seattle, but it was so sweet and so fun. And there's a lot of I don't know what the word is, like when there's people like crossing paths, but like just barely missing each other, etc. So yes, I gave that a 4-star. Thank you.
You're cute and sweet.
Aww. Okay. And then for some reason I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, and On Stranger Tides, all on the 1st of January.
Was that the 1st of January?
It was the 1st of January. Jake must have been doing something because there's no way he would have sat and he didn't sit and watch all those. He like popped in and out and saw some of the bits. I think I was doing something in the house and I needed something to be on while I was doing stuff. And so I watched all of those. And let me tell you, don't do it. They're not very good. Oh, you know what it is? It's because I own DVD copies of these movies. And so I wanted to see if I wanted to get rid of the DVDs because almost everything is streaming and I want to have like a nice DVD collection. I don't want to just own things to own them. I want to have pride in my DVDs. I want my DVD collection to reflect who I am as a person. And Pirates of the Caribbean ain't it. But I think we did decide to keep them, baby, just in case we have children one day and they want to watch them, right? I think we did. And the first 3 are fine. I think I gave, Curse of the Black Pearl, I gave 3 stars. Dead Man's Chest, I gave 2.5 stars. And At World's End, I gave 3.5 stars. I liked At World's End better than The Curse of the Black Pearl. I think it's because Keira Knightley's character, is really strong and powerful. And I like a strong woman in my viewing. So those were fine. But then, what's wrong with people? Why did they make more movies after that, okay? I'm sorry, but On Stranger Tides was, I don't even remember the plot of it, which one it was, because the other 2 were so bad. Dead Men Tell No Tales and On Stranger Tides, they're both so bad. One of them is like The Fountain of Youth, and the other one is some kind of like Poseidon, like Triton or something. I can't remember which one is which. And I literally don't care because I'm never going to watch those movies again because they were so bad. I did end up watching Dead Men Tell No Tales on the 14th of January because I was like, I've come this far. I might as well cross the finish line, even though it's a finish line I don't want to cross, but that's okay. And then I also watched on the 1st, so let's backtrack a smidge. I watched Harry Potter 20th Anniversary Return to Hogwarts, which I gave 2 stars to. I just did not like it very much. I was really disappointed because I had watched the Friends anniversary or like the Friends, like, let's all meet up and talk about stuff movie. And
That's a false advertising.
Yeah, the Return to Hogwarts was definitely false advertising. The Friends one was really cute because you watched each person kind of come in and then they like played some games that they played in the show and talked. And I got really, really emotional like watching them. I mean, I'm not like a huge Friends person or whatever, but I did watch it growing up and I do, watch it occasionally and I do really enjoy it. And it gives me this like special feeling, even though a lot of it is like anti, there's a lot of bad stuff, especially revolving around gayness and fatness. Those 2 things are shamed a lot, or like there's a lot of jokes made about like gay stuff specifically, which I'm like, but I give it a pass because it is my childhood, but it does make me uncomfortable, but that's okay. That's not the point of this. We're talking about Hogwarts. It was so bad. There were really interesting pieces because there were like some interviews that I did enjoy, but the beginning of it starts with Emma Watson like walking around in a bookstore and then finding a book and then inside of it, there's a letter to Hogwarts, and she's like, oh my gosh. And it's just like, you know what you're doing right now. This is a return to Hogwarts video. Why are you pretending like you, Emma Watson, are being invited to Hogwarts? It just felt so commercial and so like just, I don't know. It just felt fake and phony and just, I didn't like that. Like, please.
I felt more bad for Draco.
Oh, baby, come on. Anyways, it just wasn't it. Okay, it was not very good. I will say some of...
about how excited he was. Not about the fact that he has the Sixth Sense kid face, you know.
Oh, because Draco was excited about the return to Hogwarts?
He was like really excited, but he was like off in the...
Like, yeah, he was in the side character. Well, he was with Neville.
Yeah.
And what's his face? Lee? Was that his name?
Yeah, it was very weird.
It was pretty weird. But anyways. Are you going to keep interrupting me?
If you want to.
I don't! This video's already 6 minutes long and I've got so many more movies to talk about.
Okay.
Unless you guys want a joint video, but it's not happening right now. Maybe next time, okay? You go outside. Anyways, yeah, it really disappointed me immensely. I was expecting a lot more. And again, it's mostly the commercial fakeness of the whole thing that really bothered me. I do think some of the interviews were interesting and I did learn some facts, and they talked about the different directors and they went through kind of like each stage of the movies and everything. But that saccharine, fake, magical crap, I was not interested. It was not good. Then we did our movie marathon. So on the 15th of January, we watched, no, that's not right. I just was watching movies because I felt like it. Wow. Wait. Oh, okay. Now I remember. Yeah, I just was watching movies because I felt like it. So I had gotten like an email saying like, these movies are leaving the Criterion. Sorry, it's just because there's so many movies in one day. I got confused. So there was like all these movies are leaving Criterion channel soon. So I was like, okay, let me watch some of them. So I watched Marnie, which was, that's not a Hitchcock movie, is it? Merp. It is a Hitchcock movie. I think most of the movies that I ended up watching were Hitchcock movies on that day. That's a lie. Anyways, so Marnie is about this woman named Marnie who's, you know, a little bit naughty. She's kind of like a con woman. So she goes into these businesses and is like, I need to be hired. And then she finds out where the safe is and who has the code and then steals the money and then pieces out. And then she changes her identity. And so this guy discovers who she is. And this guy is Sean Connery. And I'm sorry, but Sean Connery was super attractive, but apparently he's also very horrible to women. So that was kind of a bummer. And I'm not surprised. I assume I'm putting up a movie cover right here. And yeah, that's the vibe of the movie. He's really controlling. He finds out her secret and then he's basically blackmailing her into being with him. And yeah, it's good. I gave it 3.5 stars. So I liked it better than Harry Potter. There were really interesting things. There's a really sad part with a horse though, that I'm just like, can we just delete that scene? I don't want it in there. It makes me sad. Then I watched Family Plot, which I believe is another Hitchcock movie. My review for it is absolute riot because, hello, please. It was so funny. I kind of want to own this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. So, there's a spiritualist who is another con woman. She's working, I think, with her husband or something. So the two of them, she gets hired and then, you know, they do fake stuff to get money, whatever. And then she's hired by this woman who's like, hey, find my missing heir, because I don't know if she's about to die or whatever, but she's like, find, you know, this person, this son that I made my sister get rid of when she gave birth. So her and her boyfriend are trying to find out who this person is so they can bring him, like deliver him to her so they can get paid, because that's all that they care about is that cash dollar. And then hilarity actually ensues. It is so funny because this heir that they find, he is terrible. He is a thief. And him and his woman, they do like this con to like, I don't know, they steal diamonds. I forget like exactly what happens, but it's just like a bunch of bad people doing bad things and like misinterpreting situations. And it's honestly, it's so funny. That might be my favorite movie. Not really, but it was it was so funny. Then I watched Nightmare Alley, which I don't think is by Hitchcock. This one is by Edmund Goulding. I haven't watched anything by him, not that I know of. It's from 1947, and it's I feel like another con situation. Wow, I was like in a mood, I guess, on accident. So in this movie, there is a carnival. Is it called a carnival? You know, like when you've got like the people with the stuff and then you go and pay them, you know. Oh, hey, Mom. So there's a woman who is supposed to be like a psychic woman, but it is a con. She has a person in the audience who, like, based on how they read the question, she knows kind of what answer to give them, or, you know, if they're holding a scarf or a handkerchief or whatever. So she's got this code that helps her trick humans into believing that she is psychic. So she teaches a guy to do it with her, and then he kind of like does it himself. It's another movie of like bad people being bad and conning, and people keep getting conned. And the thing is that if you're a liar and a cheat and you think you can get away with something, guess what? Someone else is trying to lie and cheat with you too. Okay. You know, just, you can't trust anybody. I only gave this one 3 stars. It was a little, I don't know. It didn't make me feel, it wasn't as funny. It felt kind of more like sad and misogynistic a little bit. So I didn't like this one as much, but it was still totally fine. Then I rewatched Scream and Scream 2 because I was prepping for Scream 5. But yeah, Scream, obviously love it. Scream 2, obviously love it. Then what the heck is this? The Cleansing Hour. The Cleansing Hour. Is that the one with the exorcist? Right. More con men. So this one is I really liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I feel like it's funny because if I give something 3.5, it means either like I kind of liked it or I really liked it. It just depends on like what the movie is. I feel like 3.5 is like such an average rating to give something. But anyway, so it's 2 guys who are trying to, and it's got Kyle Gallner in it, who gives me the heebie-jeebies. Ever since Veronica Mars, I'm just not into him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the first time that I saw him as a human, but I'm not into it. So him and his friend poses as a priest who's doing exorcisms, and it's all fake. And they post it on social media. They like film it and they post it, and they get money, you know, because I guess that's what people do. They get money off of the internet. And he, you know, has merch and blah, blah, blah. And he like sells these like, you know, cloths, blah. So they're one of the people that's supposed to be there to be the person being exorcised, because these are all actors and actresses, obviously, doesn't show up. So Kyle Gallner's woman in the movie, she is like, or he's like, please, please, please do it. And she's like, okay, fine. But then a demon actually invades her body, and then they have to exorcise the demon. And it's also, I think, absolutely hilarious. There's a lot of funny deaths in this one, because like the rules are, if you try to leave, I'll kill you. If you turn off the, you know, video, I'll kill you, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of rules that this demon has like done. I don't know why I love doing air quotes so much. So yeah, I thought it was really funny, but I have a weird sense of humor. And then I rewatched Hush on the 21st of January. I rewatched Hush because I felt like it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really like it. I think it's pretty spooky. I think my mom was here at this point. Maybe. I forget exactly when my mom showed up. That could be. No, she must have been here already. So yeah, 4.5 stars. I love it. It's about a woman who is deaf, and she has a unknown person trying to murder her. This guy like just likes to kill people. You know what Hush is about. It's good. And I'm going to put all of the trailers for everything down below too. Then we had our movie marathon day. I only watched 2 of the movies. What did I have to do on the 22nd? Is that the day that we went to go to the florist? Okay. Well, that's the day that, so I guess I bought those other books, but it was good. So I had to leave early, and I was falling asleep during all of the movies, or like because my mom was, I don't know, there was like a lot of commotion in the house because this was the weekend before I left for Vegas and 2 weekends before my wedding. So this is when things have started to really go off the rails. So I only watched 2 of them, and even the 2 that I watched, I don't really remember. The first one was DERSU UZALA, which is about a man that lives, I don't even know where it takes place, in Russia's unmapped forests. So he lives in these forests, and then the Russian like military kind of like take him on as a guide situation. And so, you know, him and like the commander, whatever, form like a nice little bond, and it's really cute and whatever. And we're like, oh, they love each other. But yeah, that's it. It's very long. How long is this movie? I forget. It's well over 2 hours. It's like at least 2.5 hours. I don't know why it doesn't tell me the length of the movie here, because it usually does. 141 minutes, so 2 hours and 20 minutes. And it was the first movie, so I was like falling asleep. But I did enjoy it. I gave it 3.5 stars, but I probably am not retaining much of it. Then we watched Le Cercle Rouge, the Red Circle, directed by Jean-Pierre Melville. Oh, I guess I forgot to say that was an Akira, what's his name? The DERSU UZALA. I don't know why for some of these I give you the director and for some of them I don't, but it's a Akira Kurosawa movie, that one. And so Le Cercle Rouge is by Jean-Pierre Melville. And this one is really fun too, actually. I gave this one 3 stars. I gave it less. But I thought it was super fun. It's about a criminal who is let out of prison, and then he gets kind of like roped into another criminal situation. And so there's a lot again of, you know, yeah, intricate jewel heist. I was falling asleep, I'll be honest. I don't know why I even rated that. I should delete that because I feel guilty because I don't think it's true because I fell asleep. One of the last movies of the day was the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I didn't watch that day because I had to leave, but I watched it the next day because I wanted to. 5 stars, obviously. I forgot how insane that movie gets, like towards the end. I think, you know, the time warp is so memorable, and, you know, the Janet song, whatever. I don't actually know what that song is called, but, you know, the first little bits I feel like are really, really memorable. And then it does really go off the rails in a good way, obviously. And yeah, I would like to rewatch it again with Jake because we tried to watch it when we went on our little mini moon. We tried it 3 times, but we fell asleep every single time because we were just really tired people. And we kept starting it over from the beginning. But we just kept falling asleep like almost immediately. I think I fell asleep during the song where he's bringing Rocky to life. I don't remember what song that is right now off the top of my head, but I fell asleep during that song every single time. Then my mom wanted to watch Annabelle Creation, which we did, and I had seen it already and I had forgotten that I had seen it. You know, Annabelle Creation. You find out how Annabelle came to be Annabelle, kind of. But then I forgot there's a really good callback at the end of the movie to like the Annabelle movie where like the girls get the doll or something. I don't remember a ton about that movie, but I do remember the opening scene of that is like the end scene of this one, which I thought was really fun because Annabelle, so spooky. I love it. It really scared me. There's a girl in a wheelchair. Anytime there's a girl in a wheelchair, I'm like, who's going to take control of that wheelchair? You know what I'm saying? Especially like the old-timey wheelchairs where they're not electronic and someone else pushes you. I'm not into it. It's too scary. And then I really wanted my mom to watch Midsummer because my shirt that Jake made for my bachelorette party was Midsummer themed. So I made her watch Midsummer. And obviously I love it. 4.5 stars. I'm surprised it's only 4.5. I love that movie so much. And I'm not going to talk about it because I feel like I've already talked about it. And I also feel like it's really popular. So you probably already know all about it. So those are all the movies that I watched in January. I watched so many more things than I read. You know, sometimes you're just in the mood to watch things instead of read things. So yes, I will try to remember to link all of the trailers below. Let me know if you have any thoughts or opinions. Bye.